Kaustubh. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good too. Thank you for asking. So before getting started with the review, I want to first congratulate you on getting an admit into one of your dream university. Why don't you just go ahead and give us a brief description about the schools you have received the admit from?
Yeah, sure. So I have received admit from Scheller School of Business. It's part of Georgia Tech. It's based in Atlanta. So I've got an admit round one with a scholarship. So I've got a scholarship of 90,000 US dollars.
Right.
So basically that will cover all my tuition expenses. And in addition to that, I'm required to work under them as a GRA for 14 hours a week. In addition to Georgia Tech, I'm currently waitlisted in Foster School of Seattle. That result will be out in the end of March.
Right.
And also I'm waitlisted in Tepper, which is in Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh. But all these results will be out very late. And I needed to confirm my seat in Georgia Tech. So I have gone ahead with Georgia Tech. And I'll be going ahead with the visa in the month of February.
Right, perfect. I mean, getting a scholarship itself, of such good amount kind of leads to a position where you want to go ahead with the respective university because it kind of will match the tuition fee that you want to. And even if it's a small amount, it kind of gets pretty easy on your pockets and you prefer choosing that one option than the others. So yeah, perfect. Yeah. So my very first question would be regarding your experience that you had working with a MiM-Essay. So how was it and what was your exact learning coming out from it?
Sure. So I started in the month of July with Anubhav.
Right.
So initially we went through the resume. So I have experience in the tech background. So basis my experience and in the extracurricular, we had almost 6 to 7 to and fro's for the resume, and we were able to finalize the resume.
Right.
After that, we had to go ahead with the LORs. So letter of recommendation, there are 2 required by most of the universities. And also then we went ahead with the essays. Right. Overall, most of the process was very smooth. Like I was getting response in under 2 days and everything was through the portal. So the portal is very well designed, as and when I just upload my essay, the mentor will be notified, vice versa. So because of that, we were able to communicate very smoothly, and it took a couple of months because there were a lot of edits, but by September end I was ready with my applications. Then from September I started applying to the colleges. So that's a half an hour process per college. Once you have your resume, LOR and the essays handy, it doesn't take much time. So I applied for them. And I had got an interview invite for Foster. So at that time, again, I had a word with Anubhav, and his pointers were really helpful. So a couple of important pointers that I got was to be tell in detail about your background. You should be very crisp and clear while telling your introduction.
Yeah.
So few of those pointers were really helpful, and overall, it was a smooth journey. So yeah, that was my experience in short.
Wonderful. Like you mentioned, you were working on your application for a couple of months, and because of course it requires multiple edits, there are a lot of parts where you need to cater to, keeping in mind the LOR, the resuming on a BSTP's essays, and how many questions it's going to be. It will totally depend on the university they're asking. So like a constant effort, continuous effort coming out from your end and the backend team, including your consultant and house counselor and content team. So you talked about Anubhav a lot. He was your consultant, he was your mentor who was helping you out with your entire application process. I need to know specifically, how did your consultant exactly added value to your application?
Yeah, okay. So let me start. So last year I had made a resume on my own, and after working with Anubhav, I could see a considerable difference. So when you work with someone who has helped multiple students over the years, their experience adds value to your resume.
True.
And I could see the difference there. Also, another important point was, as and when the university releases the essay questions, like you don't know how to start. Like you can expand on various points, but the consultant, they have the experience of working on these questions, so they know what universities are looking at, what do they want to hear from the applicants.
Right.
So these are the most important point which you can only get by working with someone who has gone through the process. So yeah, mostly these.
Right, because they come from a background where they have helped multiple students to get an admit into those universities, or stand in a position where they can perfectly guide you on how you need to go ahead with certain questions or with certain steps that is involved. So yeah, very well said, that eventually their experience that they have are going to benefit each and every one of you. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So you also talked about the CRM, the process, how it works. Like whenever you're uploading the document, consultant gets the notification, consultant does, you get the notification. So there was CRM involvement, there were multiple edits, resources. You also mentioned about your consultant and different part of it. So there were multiple services involved to make sure that you receive a successful, admit from one of those universities that we're targeting from. So if I have to ask you that out of all the services that we have offered, if you have to choose just one, the one that you think you like the best, what would that be and why?
So I would definitely like the service of like fast to and fro. So I was really impressed. So like on a day, let's say I'm slacking, I will get a mail from MiM-Essay saying that it has been 24 hours, you have not submitted an enhancement to your edit.
Right.
It has been 48 hours. So that basically keeps you on the track. That was a really nice feature. And also overall, the portal has been really well built. Initially, when I started, I went through some modules on resume, and then through some modules on essays. Then there were module on Kira interviews. So Kira type of video interviews, which a lot of colleges are doing nowadays. Right. So they were all very helpful for me. So yeah, overall, the platform is well built according to me.
Right. So you like the resources that were there made available to you on the CRM, and also the constant follow-ups that were being actively taken up from your end to keep you on track and give you constant reminder that, hey, we have to make sure that we meet the deadlines and everything should be ready beforehand. Perfect. Very well said. And I think those are a few, services that I really am fond of eventually coming out from a lot of other people who mentioned the same thing. So yeah, I would definitely agree to you on that one. But the last question that I would be having for you is that if you have to give a certain advice to the people who come from a similar background like you a couple of months back, where they were not too sure how to get started on their application process, what to do. So what advice would you like to give them, and do you like to suggest them to try MiM-Essay, and your opinion on that one?
Yeah, I would definitely try MiM-Essay. So there are a lot of consultants out there. It's a job, but a couple of factors which I did like MiM-Essay time service, and the packages are really well tailored. So the package has an option of interview plus the application. Right. So it's like there are no hidden surprises at the end that you have to pay anything extra. Right. So that was a good thing for me. Also, in addition to that, I would say starting early is very important because I had made a plan that I need to go for an MBA in 2023, a couple of years back. Right. So I done my research, got a GMAT score on time, and gave ample time for my consultant and for me to be ready with applications. So starting in the month of July, I was able to put in my applications by September. All the colleges I was able to reach the round 1, and by having a admit in December, now you can focus completely on the visa process. Yeah. That's one thing I would suggest, is to start application early and definitely go with a consultant. Last year I had applied to a couple of colleges without consultant, but I could not get a good result. Right. I did not get interview calls also. So I would definitely suggest a guidance is very much required.
All right. Thank you so much. Very well said. And congratulations once again for getting, the admit, the offer along with the scholarships. So yeah, the post-application process is something that we will be helping you out with entirely, either it is loan, visa, accommodation, scholarship, whatever that might be. The team will always be available. And even after, you start your studies, your post-grad, and if you think that at any point in time you think you might need certain help or assistance with anything in particular, feel free to connect with us. You can directly reach out to your POC. The team would love to be, in a position where we are helping you out with anything that is possible from our end. So thank you so much, and all the very best for your future endeavors. It was really nice connecting with you, and I absolutely believe that this video will be very helpful for people who are, seeking some guidance right now and are pretty confused at this moment. So yeah, thank you and congratulations. Bye-bye.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Bye.